Hello, good evening, viewers of the Health Show. You're welcome today to our live stream edition of today's topic. We're going to talk about drug abuse. We're going to talk about examples of drug abuse, and we're going to also help explain ways you can be free from drug abuse, just in case you are hooked on one. I'm not alone on the studio. With me is Dr. Hope. Dr. Hope, kindly introduce yourself.
Hello, viewers. Good
Hello,
evening.
viewers. Good evening.
My name is
My
Dr.
name
Hope
is Dr. Hope
Onyemaechi
Onyemaechi
Vision
Vision
By God's
and by
grace,
God's
I'm
grace,
happy
I'm
to be in your
happy
midst
to
this
be in your
evening.
midst this evening.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Hope. So today we are talking about drug abuse. What today is International Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking Day. What exactly do you think is the reason why they have to form a day like this? Hope. Why do you think
Okay,
it's necessary to have a day like this?
I think
I
the
think
need
the need
is
is
it's long
it's
overdue
long
because
overdue because
going by
going
the
by
trends we
the
have
trends we
today
have today
in our
in our
society,
society,
I think
I think
everyone will agree
everyone
with
will
me
agree
that
with me that
even
even it's
it has
almost
almost come
it
to
has
a
almost
time where
come to a
even a
time where
child
even a child
in the mother's
in the
womb
mother's womb
now has
now
ideas
has
about
ideas about
most of the
most of the
social
social
vices that
vices that
predominate our
predominate our
society.
society.
And the reason is
And the
not
reason is not
far-fetched.
far-fetched.
It's
It's
because
because
most of these
most of
things
these
can be
things
traced
can be
back
traced back
to
to
these
these
drugs that are being
drugs that are
abused.
being
And
abused.
as
Okay.
And
such,
as
I think
such,
it
I
has now
think it
become
has now
important
become
for
important for
the health
the health
society to form a
society
day
to
as
form a
this,
day as
so
this,
as to see
so
how
as to
we
see
can
how we
curb the
can
menace
curb the
of drug
menace
abuse
of
and
drug abuse and
trafficking,
trafficking,
and to also
and
see
to
how we
also
can
see how we can
rehabilitate people in the
rehabilitate people in the
and
society
also
and
educate
also
them
educate
on
them on
proper use
proper use
and how
and
to handle
how to
medicines
handle
properly.
medicines properly.
Okay. Okay. So you mean today is more like a day for educating and causing awareness about
Exactly,
proper use of drug. Okay.
exactly.
Now there are several drugs that are being abused. I don't know. Do you have an idea of a list of a few of these drugs that are abused, and why do you think they're abused? So just give
Okay,
us a
I'm going
list
to be
first of
I'm
very
all.
going to be very
practical here.
practical here.
I'm going to
Okay.
be very
I'm going to be
practical.
very
I'm
practical.
going to use the
I'm going
things
to
we
use the
see every
things we
day.
see every
I'm
day.
not going to
I'm not
call
going to
any the
call
things we
any the
have in the
things we have
books.
in the books.
I'm going to be very
I'm going to be
practical. We're
very
in
practical
Nigeria,
in Nigeria.
and for
And
those in the
for
South
those
South
in the
region,
South region,
especially, I'm
especially,
going to
I'm
mention
going to
those that I've
mention those that
experienced because
I've
that's where I
experienced
grew
because
up.
that's where I
I'm
grew up.
also going
I'm
to
also going
mention
to
those in the
mention
East
those in
where
the
I
East
currently
where I
am.
currently am.
Now,
Okay.
talking about drug
Talking about
abuse, I
drug
think
abuse,
before
I
talking
think
about
before talking about
um,
um,
drugs that are being
drugs that
abused, we
are being
should know
abused,
what
we should know what
constitutes
constitutes
abuse and be
abuse
able to
and be able to
differentiate it
differentiate it
from even
from
misuse.
even
There's a very
misuse.
thin
There's a
line
very
between both
thin
of
line
them.
between both of them.
Now,
Okay.
drug abuse
Now,
has
drug
to do
abuse
with
has to do
the
with
use of a
the use
drug
of a drug
without prescription,
without prescription.
meaning that I don't
Okay.
even
Meaning
know
that I
why a
don't even know
drug
why a drug
I
is
don't know
I
what
don't
it
know
is used
what it
for,
is used
or I
for,
know what it
or I
is
know
used
what it
for,
is used for,
but I
but I
decide
decide
that I want to
that I
take
want
it
to take it
anyhow that I
anyhow
like.
that I like.
That is
Okay.
That
abuse.
is abuse.
Now,
Now,
differentiating from
differentiating
misuse,
from
misuse has
misuse,
to do with
misuse
the
has to
fact
do
that
with the fact that
yes, I know what this
yes, I
drug
know
is
what
used
this
for.
drug is used for.
Likely it was
Likely
prescribed
it
for
was
me,
prescribed for me,
but I decide
but
to
I
use it
decide to use it
either for
either
a use
for a
that is
use
not
that is
its
not its
intended use,
intended use,
or at a
Okay.
or
dose
at a
that is
dose that
not
is not
the
the
intended dose
intended
for
dose for
therapeutic use.
therapeutic use.
Okay.
I'm trying to
I'm
break
trying
it
to
down
break
to the
it down to
lowest
the
term I
lowest
can.
term I can.
Maybe
Okay.
at some
And maybe
point,
at
if
some
need
point,
be,
if
I
need
might
be,
even have to
I
use
might even have
pidgin
to use
English if that's
pidgin English if
permitted
that's
in here.
You
permitted.
can use pidgin. It's permitted. You can use
Good,
pidgin English
Good,
because
good.
we are
Thank
the
you.
program is for the public. Our
Okay,
target audience are not health professionals. Our target audience are those who don't really know about drugs at all. You get it? So
okay.
you can use
That's
pidgin English.
fine.
It's fine.
Okay, let me go
Okay, let
again.
me
And
go
my
again.
people,
And my
una
people,
do
una do
Wetin I try
what
talk
I
be
try
say
talk we say
drug
drug
abuse
abuse
be say
be
I
say
hear say
I
my
hear say
friend
my friend
dey take this
they
thing
take this thing
and
and
probably
probably
e dey work
e
for
dey
am,
work for am,
or say
or say
I just
I
feel say
just
this
feel
thing
say
I
this
wan
thing
take
I
am
wan take am
because e dey give me
because e
one
dey
kind
give me one
feeling,
kind feeling,
or e dey
or
make
e
me
dey
feel
make
in
me
a
feel
way
in a
wey
way
be say
wey
if
be
I don
say
take
if I
am,
don take am
I no go be
I no go
myself.
be
I go get
myself. I go
this
get
feeling wey
this
oyibo dey
feeling
call
wey they
euphoria,
call euphoria,
happiness and
happiness
comfort.
and
I go
comfort.
decide
I
to dey
go
take
decide
that
to dey
drug.
take that drug.
Now
Okay.
Now
misuse on the other
misuse
hand be
on the other
say
hand be say
I go see
I go
doctor
see doctor
doctor tell me say na one three times a day you go dey take am. Me come look myself say no, na two dey work for me like some people dey tell us for pharmacy wey dey work. Or they'll say e get the way my body be. If I no take four, e no dey work. Or say I no even know wetin the reason. I know the reason wey dem give me the drug, but I decide say no, na like this me wan take my own. Maybe dem tell me say na for headache, but the day wey belle come dey worry me, I say after all headache and belle pain na the same thing, ma take am. That one na dem dey call misuse. But abuse be say I fit to no get the idea of wetin dem dey use am for. I just take am without proper knowledge. Misuse be say I fit know, but I decide say na the other way I wan take am. Na the difference between the two of them.
Okay, when you were explaining, you mentioned something like euphoria, calmness, happiness. Now, if this drug gives this feeling to the people who use them, is it bad for them to get this kind of feelings from those drugs?
Okay. And before we would be able to answer that question, I think it's very important to ask why do people even abuse drugs in the first place?
Okay.
The major reason why people abuse drugs is because they have this sense of comfort. They find solace in this thing. Because something that you know there are drugs that some people know that they might be harmful to them. If you want to even extend it to substance to like cigarette and all that, there are some people they write it boldly on cigarette packs that smokers are liable to die. Some people are actually educated that smoke. As a matter of fact, they know the health implications. But the thing is that it gives them this sense of comfort and all that, and they feel that at some point they cannot do without it, and that is why they go after it. So yes, it comes with certain feelings. Euphoria means after taking it, there's this sudden pleasure that comes into you. Some people take it and have this grandiose ability. Like there was a certain person that was in a bus with me one day when I was going and started telling me that his father is the owner of Uniben and that Uniben is weighing for the land, not paying. I just sensed and I was able to smell alcohol and some hard substances that came out from his mouth that was oozing. And of course, I could point out that this person is a drug addict or a substance addict. So whatever I was saying, that I didn't take it serious. But then, in his mind, he was actually in another cloud nine that we are not. Sometimes it gives this feeling of superiority over others. You get, and that's why some people can take drugs and approach somebody that they cannot approach on a normal day and say whatever they like. I have a friend personally here in Abakaliki that feels like before he can go and permit me to use the word toast, before he can approach a girl who a lady, that he feels like he has to be on something. Because naturally he has that inferiority complex or he has that shyness. So whenever he sees a girl he likes in a bar that we are in or something, he'll first have to dose himself and equip himself in quotes before approaching her. So yes, these feelings are there, but they don't make it right. Sometimes people abuse drugs because of the side effects it has, not necessarily because of its normal use. Because normally, as pharmacists, when we formulate drugs with an intended therapeutic use. But then you find out that some people, once they discover the unintended use, unwanted effects, which are usually termed adverse or side effects, that is what some people want to go for. Let me give an instance.
Dr. Hope, can you please give us a minute? One of the viewers says it is echoing from their end. So let us know, every other viewer that is watching, if you are hearing us clearly, if it's just the viewers, this particular person's thoughts. Let us know if you are hearing us clearly in the comment section. So thank you very much. So Dr. Hope, we can continue. Let's see. So you're trying to give us an example, yeah?
Yes. Going back to the question that was asked, the examples of practical drugs that are being abused in our everyday life. Now, as a community pharmacist, which I've been before now, I'm going to be very practical. One of the drugs that are yet undirected, but one of the most abused drugs is paracetamol. Funny as it sounds, paracetamol, I can boldly say, is one of the most abused drugs in our country, Nigeria. Because you see, for any reason whatsoever that people have, they just go over the counter And I was actually surprised, even as a pharmacist, to discover that paracetamol, that our dear paracetamol that we abuse always, is not even an over-the-counter drug. If you check our book, which is known as NDEX, you'll find it surprising that it's not really an over-the-counter drug. You see people go there and just request for paracetamol. The slightest headache, which might be due to stress, that you might just need you might just need moments of rest. See people just carry it and start taking just because it's readily available. You get now another drug that people abuse a lot are a set of drugs known as NSAIDs.
Okay.
Given the situation of our country, Nigeria, we know what it is for ends to meet. People work hard. People have to go through stress of bricklaying, stress of pushing wheelbarrows. People that do hard jobs mostly, these are the people that you find that abuse these things the most. They come to your community pharmacy and they tell you, I won't buy diclofenac, ibuprofen, and paracetamol together. And you are trying to educate them that these drugs actually do the same thing. You can actually just take one and be fine. By the way, what's even wrong with you? They flare up and they leave. And they go somewhere else where they can get this thing. You get this thing. So NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, are another class of drugs. And examples that fall under this, they are generally known as painkillers. Examples of drugs that fall under this class: ibuprofen. We have diclofenac. The popular one we know as Clofenac or Lofenac, the cheap one, 100 naira. Then we also have other examples such as meloxicam, piroxicam, Pelvin. Yes, we have Pelvin.
So basically, from what you have mentioned so far, basically that most drugs can be abused and misused.
Yes, of course.
Now, all of these drugs that are available for abuse and misuse, is there a proper way these drugs can be administered that will reduce their abuse and misuse?
Yes. As a matter of fact, in the Western world, I have friends who have visited there and who are still resident there. You don't just go to a hospital and you request that you want drugs. Before they give you drugs, there are procedures that you have to pass through, and they have to be very sure that you really need it.
Okay.
Because when purpose is not known, abuse is what? Inevitable. That is the first thing I have to underline. People take drugs most times because they have very little knowledge about them. And it's sad in our country, Nigeria. They just feel like for everything that is wrong, they should take drugs. Imagine I'm supposed to take something for 5 days. I have a way of taking it for 2 days and I'm okay. I discard it somewhere. And tomorrow, a neighbor of mine say, I'm having this stomach. I say, wait, let me give you. I have one I took yesterday. Come and give inside. Take inside. And I give the person. Share drugs are sweet. These are part of challenges we have. Yes, people share drugs like chewing-gum and sweets these days. I was watching a neighbor of mine the other day. Somebody was complaining and all that while I was busy clicking the person trying to know what was wrong and what's next to do. Just shouted, she used to have this one too. And this one too. Exactly. Now he sent to a jubilee. Come and give you for my own. It still remains. Can imagine. That's the kind of society we live in. People actually feel more comfortable listening to their fellow elites in society, than to go to the people who are licensed and who have been turned professionals in that field. So I think the way we can use drugs without abusing them first of all is to first visit the right persons. The truth is that we live in a very sad world whereby we jump procedures too much. Normally, before one can tell me ourselves to say I have malaria, you ought to have seen a physician and probably undergone a lab test, and it will be confirmed that really this person has malaria. But sadly, what we see today, even we, most of the health professionals, we are even guilty of this thing. It's sad. We try to jump procedures. You just see somebody is sick, and the next thing you say, I know myself, I know my system. Once I begin to have a headache, I begin to, and this malaria. And don't worry, let me just treat it myself. All these are simple as it sounds, constitutes abuse. It's sad though, but that's the correct thing to do. It's just that we don't like undergoing stress. We don't like going through procedures, due procedures. That's one of the challenges. So truth is that one way we can actually take these drugs without having to abuse them is to heed to the prescriber's
instruction.
Yeah. And make sure that after that particular ailment has been addressed, you don't go back to get that same drug because you feel you're having similar symptoms. Because the truth is that different disease might have similar symptoms. Of course, weed and the etc. We have often seen times where two persons will present with similar symptoms, but the diagnosis will be different.
Yeah.
There are so many ailments that have similar symptoms, but upon laboratory tests, you find out that they are actually very different. Yet, for example, when COVID-19 came out, the symptoms were more like the normal flu-like symptoms and malaria. So somebody might actually be a COVID-19 patient living in your compound and be thinking or she's treating malaria. Just go ahead and do it. Before you know, infect other people. So these are part of the challenges.
It's okay. Now, talking about drug abuse, there are some class of drugs that are addictive, that can cause addiction. Are they still discussed under this drug abuse? Like what are those drugs, and why initially would the physician put you on a drug that can make you addicted to it?
Thank you very much. This is going to form the crux of our discussion today because what constitutes the class of drugs that constitutes abuse so much actually falls under what we just mentioned. Actually, they are known as psychoactive substances. The reason why they are known as psychoactive substances is because they have a way of affecting our CNS, the way our brain functions. They alter CNS functions, either by increasing it or by decreasing the functions. Now, there are class of drugs that physicians have to place us on because of the symptoms that will present. Like I said, different symptoms, different disease might present the same set of symptoms. But upon proper diagnosis, you might find out that one person will do well on a particular set of drugs, but the other person might not for some reasons. Now, examples of these drugs are the opioids. They are a class of drugs called the opioids, and under these opioids, we have morphine, we have codeine, we have even cocaine, you have pentazocine, you have tramadol, and you have so many other. The list is endless. In fact, there's even a new class now that I don't know if it's prominent in the south and other places, but in the east, it's the order of the day. They call it Nkurumiri. The English name is methamphetamine.
Are you serious?
Yes, it's very abusing. For those who are listening and from this, I'm sure you'll be laughing or smiling by now because it's very popular. Nkurumiri, that is the name. But it's methamphetamine. And I can put it to you that it was one person that actually took it and we had that effect and we started informing people that, wow, you can actually take this and all that. Now, so this class of drugs that I mentioned, they have a way of altering the CNS, either by slowing motor function or increasing our motor functions in our brain. And the reason why they are prescribed is because of the symptoms. Now, the neurons in our brain, there is a way God has created us and wired us to function. There are certain ailments that may either slow down, retard our brain function, or over increase it. For example, there are conditions known as bipolar disorder.
Sorry, speaker. Someone else is mentioning that the audio is echoing. Someone else, I think that is
my earpiece.
Okay, try and see if that will be better.
Okay. Still echoing.
All right. It's no longer. It's not. It wasn't echoing to me before, but let's see if they will respond. If anybody else will respond, that is no longer. So continue speaking like this. Let's see.
We do better without the earpiece.
Okay.
Okay. So, like I was saying, we have drugs that would have disease conditions that generate or increase the motor function For example, there are drugs that there are conditions that will make you not to eat very well. There are also conditions that will make you to even overeat. There are also conditions
Okay.
that will make you your sleep functions, you lose them. There are other conditions that will make you sleep more than usual. All these that an example is bipolar disorder, where you have an altering case of mania and depression. You have the two-phase syndrome. In
Okay.
some
It's not the audio.
situations,
I'm sorry, Dr. Hope. The audio is not very clear. I don't know if you can adjust the mic a little bit.
okay. Is it clearer now?
Yeah, it's better now.
Okay. So like I was saying, I think there are situations whereby some conditions can alter the way your brain functions. A very good example is in the case of bipolar disorder. In this
Okay.
case, you have an individual exhibiting two different symptoms. Maybe in the morning, the person exhibits symptoms of mania, whereby the person acts, the motor neurons begin to act faster than this, and you have firing of excessive firing of neurons. And you see such an individual, something that you say that is not funny. You might just announce that somebody died, and the person starts laughing. It is not actually the person's fault. It is actually as a result of this excessive firing of neurons. Now, in the evening, you might see everybody gathered together and they're celebrating something, and this person is frowning or is alone, just on his corner, reasoning, what are these people doing? Are these people stupid? So it's not actually the person's fault. Still under that. Now, there are situations whereby this can exist separately. You can have somebody exhibiting symptoms of mania, like in the case of when someone has schizophrenia, psychosis, and other related disorders. Now, for depression, you also find symptoms like that. The person will be opposed to eating, opposed to relating with people, and the person will not have pleasure in activities that he or she used to have. So, for this situation, doctors usually recommend drugs depending on which symptom the person is exhibiting that will either slow down the firing of those neurons or increase it in a way so that the person will not exhibit those symptoms. If it's in the case of depression, you would obviously need things that would increase the way those neurons fire, and that's why you have antidepressants. Some of them work in a way that when they work, they help to improve CNS function, in that the person will start behaving in a normal way other than being. Now, for many, on the other hand, you need drugs that will slow down those. Now, the underlying thing is that while these drugs work, they have a way of altering the CNS. So in this situation, the intended use was actually for this person to take them and get better. But you see some situations, because they affect the CNS, some of them have addictive tendencies. Another class I mentioned was opioids. Those opioid analgesics, they are intended for pain, and doctors usually most times describe them as last resort when the pain is actually very severe, and it
Okay.
is looking like, apart from this person will not stand the chance. Yeah, because when drugs are being given, they try as much as possible to weigh the risk and the benefits factors. If the risk is actually more than the benefit, we don't give out some. But when the benefits outweigh the risk, we give out, irrespective of what the risk may be. So in this situation, it's not like the doctor has a bad intention. It's just that at that point, this is what the patient needs to stay alive. But in some situations, with prolonged usage or increased dose, you find out that these drugs begin to exhibit some, the person begins to exhibit some symptoms of drug addiction or abuse. I don't know
Okay.
if I'm making sense at all.
Yes. Yeah, you are. Thank you very much. Just to quickly ask, persons who are hooked on all these opioids and other drugs you mentioned, are there any particular solution to help them come out of it? For example, people who take pentazocine, tramadol, is there something that can help them stop this addiction?
Yes, there is. The problem is the individual, first of all. Like I
Okay.
said, where drug abuse most times begin to surface is when an individual takes it particularly, gets better, and feels like next time, what do I need this physician for? When I can easily get this thing. You get, and the
Yeah.
person goes to ahead to get that thing. And the physician that prescribed it actually prescribed it for a short period. The truth is that most of these substances are intended for short-term usage, not
Okay.
chronic usage, just acute. For example, the other drugs are being made, they are known as tranquilizers. Example is bromazepam. These things they help you to get a good sleep and relax the nerve, calm the nerve so that the individual can be able to rest. But when the individual takes it and feels better, say wow, instead of addressing the underlying symptom of trying to rest and do other things so that you'll be able to sleep, the person feels like, I can actually get this thing and it will help me sleep every day. And over time, you develop addiction and dependence on this thing.
Okay.
So there are ways these things can be stopped. Most drugs, it depends on the particular substance in question of drug. There are some drugs or substances that cannot be stopped abruptly. Otherwise, you have what is known as bound effects. In that the condition that even worsen upon withdrawal of that drug. While there are some other drugs that actually withdraw abruptly and nothing will happen. So it depends on
Okay.
the particular substance in question. If it is the one that requires you to gradually be, if it's the one that will create a problem upon withdrawing abruptly, then we'll do what we call tapering of dose. In that, if the person was 10 milligram before, for example, let's say we're talking about diazepam in this question, in this situation, the person was on 10 milligram. At some point, you see your physician start telling you to take 5 milligram after some time. Then maybe after a week, you see the person telling you to break into half, and after some time, tell you, okay, the half alternate the way you take it. Take today, don't take tomorrow, then next tomorrow. And after some time, you can now stop. That period is what we call a period when your body begins to get used to not being on that particular drug. But
Okay.
it's not actually easy to keep people out from drug addiction or abuse. It's actually one of the challenges we face in the health profession. Now, there are some other ones. When you begin to sense symptoms of addiction, dependence, or abuse, it has to be withdrawn abruptly. Because for every day that that individual gets triggered with a particular substance, it poses a threat. And
Okay.
upon withdrawal,
Can you give us an example of those drugs that will pose a threat for every day the person uses?
okay, for example, the opioids I mentioned, pentazocine, tramadol, and codeine.
Okay. So
These
now,
things,
okay.
they have a
So now,
way
which
of
of
tampering with TNS.
okay, which of these do you think is easy? So what would be your advice to those that are listening to us now if they want to stop any of them hooked or any of these drugs you mentioned, if they want to stop, what would be your advice to them? And which example of some drugs can they actually tamper over a period until they stop finally?
Okay, first thing first, if there's a will, there's a way.
There's a way, yeah.
I think the individual must be first willing to stop. The individual is the most important thing. Because addiction is one of the most difficult things to do. So the individual must be willing. If there's somebody out there now that is willing and listening, I think the first thing you have to do is to have that will that you want to stop. Then the second thing is reach out for help. And while reaching out, you have to reach out to the right person because they actually take it. Yes, someone might go and find even a person that is worse than you, even far. And you even see that at the end of the day, the person tells you, one thing wey people dey take, wetin dey there, you are not the only person. Me sef dey take am. And we all know what happen when the blind lead the blind. We both fall into a ditch. I think first thing first, like I said, is let there be a will. Second thing is reaching out to the right person. Because it's not something that you just do. It's not something. I have a friend talking about an addict of drug. I know how difficult, but the first step was him making that way that he actually knows he called me and told me that okay, I know say this thing dey e no good though, it dey affect me. But I no just know why. No dey fit pass my no take am. The first thing was a will. And what he was even on was tramadol capsule. The initial thing was that he had an accident during a football match that we had and he fractured his leg. And upon seeing a doctor, the damage was great. He was placed on tramadol capsule, 50 milligram. and he was supposed to take it for a period of 1 week and stop and come back to see the and know if he's getting better. Somewhere along the line, my guy 3 days and he got better. And my guy stopped. He felt like, wow, what's this wonder drug that I had to take for 3 days and I was fine? He stopped it somewhere. Now, he was advised to stop for some time, stay away and reduce sugar fat. He had match the next week, he played. And this time around, the
Okay.
damage, he went back, took that same drug, and when it finished, somehow, it's a controlled drug, not supposed to be seen in community. Somehow, he had a way of getting an outlet, got it, and continued. Lo and behold, after about 2 weeks, came to a time, my guy became so addicted. And there's something that happens about drug addiction. At some point, your body is something that is known as tolerance with pain. And at that point, your body will no longer be comfortable with 50 milligrams. So you would need a higher dose to give that
Yeah.
same effect. Otherwise, you just feel as if you are just doing something that is not even giving any result. So you have to increase to 100 milligrams. And 100 milligrams at some point, my guy has to get like 400 milligrams tramadol. You get. Now that is just one case. There's another cases where people take these things. I don't know but I just have to mention it now. Aphrodisiacs is one of the practical reasons why people are doing it. Because they hear
Yeah.
that, oh, it has a way of having this libido and sex drive. So, first thing, like I said, I told my guy, real. Second thing is, you have to reach out to the right people to do it. And I sat him down, I made him understand you can actually stay a day without tramadol. Who told you that this pain will not go without tramadol? If you make up your mind and you say, I want to stay away from this thing for 1 day, that the pain will go. It will go. If you have the right mindset and you do the need. And I actually had him go for physiotherapy. And when he did that, lo and behold, the pain disappeared after a while. He can work very well today. The thing is that this thing has a way of giving you a feeling that without it, you can actually not live. And
Yeah.
that's false. So the first thing, like I said, reaching out. Third thing, while you are getting help, please and please be as honest and as responsible and disciplined as you can. There are people just like in the case of people trying to lose weight. There are people that will tell you I want to lose weight, and you will tell them, okay, watch your calories and all that. They will do that for some time, and after some time, they will go back and take double of what they were taking before. You are
Yeah.
deceiving yourself now. Similar thing happens with drug abuse. You can't say you are trying to stop abusing a particular drug or you want to reduce addiction to a particular drug, and after a while you stop and later you go back to it. You will discover that when you eventually go back to it, at that point tolerance could have developed and you need a higher dose to even produce
Yeah.
the same effect.
Yeah.
So will, reaching out, and discipline. I think these are the ways you can try and overcome it on an
All
individual
right.
note.
All right. Thank you very
Sorry to
much,
add.
Dr. Hope. Yeah.
In addition, some cases that are extreme actually need a what's it called psychotherapy.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Hope. Thank you. You've listed use how you stop addiction. You can reduce the dose over time, and then
Yeah.
you can speak to a health professional, and you have to be very, very honest about the information you share with your health professional, and
Yes.
ensure that before if you're given a drug by the doctor or the pharmacist, you take it just like it is told. You do not increase the dose or reduce the dose because of whatever initiative you're trying to bring into the condition. So thank you very much, my listeners. So far, we've not gotten any question, but I have just one last question for Dr. Hope. Now, if you are presented with a patient who is going through a crisis from um, from not taking a particular drug of abuse. I don't know if you understand. The patient is abusing a particular drug, and so far for the past 2 or 3 days, the patient has not have access to this drug, and the patient is convulsing, is sweating, and is begging for you to dispense this drug to the patient. what will you do? Will you dispense out of mercy, or will you not dispense? There's a phenomenon called cold turkey. Cold
Yes,
turkey
our friend
treatment.
would
All
say,
right, now the patient is experiencing all the symptoms that has to do with cold turkey treatment, and is scared. The person need that drug. For example, pentazocine. Person need that drug, and what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Are you going to give that drug, or are you going to send away? What are you going to do?
thank you. It's a
Thank
very
you.
dicey
It's a
one.
very dicey one.
Yeah,
Um, the thing is,
The thing is,
as health
as
professionals, we
health
try our best
professionals, we
to use
try
our
our best to use
profession
our
well.
profession
Where there
yeah,
are laws in the
where there are
books,
laws in the books.
there are one or two
There are one
occasions
or
where
two
we
occasions
the
where we
extra mile
the extra
just to save
just
lives.
save
Now,
lives.
there are also
yes,
Now, there are
times
also times
when, as
when,
much as we
much
can, like
as
I
we
mentioned
can,
before,
like I mentioned
we try
before,
to weigh
we
the
try
risk
to
and
the risk and
on a normal
on a
basis.
normal basis.
Drugs in the first place,
Drugs in the
they are
first
not
place.
meant to be
They are
given
not
out
meant to be
without
given out with
proper
proper
prescription.
prescription.
yeah,
If you actually want
If you
to help
actually
the
want
patient,
to help the patient,
I think the best thing
I
is
think the
not to
best thing is
dispense.
not to dispense.
Yes, the patient might be
Yes, the
hesitant,
patient might be hesitant,
but when you do the
but
risk
when you do the
benefit
risk benefit
factor, you
factor,
would find out
you would
that
find out that
you are thinking about
you
just
are
now.
thinking about just now.
What's the guarantee
What's
that
the
tomorrow
guarantee
that
that
same
tomorrow
patient will
that
not come?
patient will not come?
There was a patient that
There
came
was a
and
patient
told
that
me
came
that
and told me that
he wants to get a
he
cough
wants
syrup,
to get
and
a
I said
cough syrup.
I
And
was
I said,
about
I
going
was
to the
about
shelf
to go to
after,
the shelf,
of course, looking at
of course,
knowing
making
what
up
exactly was.
knowing what it
I was about to go to the
I was
chef
about to
and I
go to
said,
the
no,
chef
no, no,
and
no.
I said, no,
Is there a
no, no,
particular why they
very
check?
particular
When
why
I
they
get
check.
Insulin
And I
code.
get
I was
Zoe.
like, no.
I was like,
Penicillin
no.
with codeine, no.
Early we could no.
So thing with codeine,
So
no.
so thing we
Ah,
could
which codeine una
I
come
wish
get?
could
No
do
one.
not
I said,
get
no,
no
no,
one.
no, no.
Say no,
Anyone
no,
wey no
no.
get codeine no dey
Anyone when
work
no
for
get
me.
could do the work for me.
You can imagine that
Can imagine that
yeah,
frustration.
yeah,
That might not be totally
that
true.
might not be totally true.
It's only somebody
It's
that has
only
not
somebody
tasted.
that has not taken.
My mother's soup is the
My
best.
mother's soup is the best.
Like we always say in
Like we always
African.
say in
And
African.
truth is that
yeah,
most
Truth is
of these
that
people
most of these people
got to know about these
got to
drugs
know about
just
these
one
drugs just
away,
one
either by
away,
prescription
either
from
by
a physician
prescription from
or a
a
friend
physician
took it
or a
and
friend
told them,
took it
and
and
that's why
told
they
them.
feel like
And that's
that's
why
the
they feel
reason
like that's the reason.
you get. Now
Yes.
the
yeah,
second
Now the second
experience I had
experience I had
was a girl
was
that
a
came
girl
was
that came
itching.
was
That was
itching.
the first time
That
in my
was the
life
first time in my
I
life
saw
I saw
symptoms of
symptoms
severe
of
drug
severe
addiction
drug
and withdrawal.
addiction.
She was
She
itching. She
was
was
itching. She was
scratching all over,
scratching
telling
all
me,
over,
"Ah,
telling
please,
me,
please,
please,
I need
I
pentazocine.
need
Right,
pentazocine.
I'm in severe
Right, I'm
pain.
in severe
I told
pain.
her,
I
if
told
I
her,
don't take it,
if I
I will
don't take
die
it, I will
right
die
now. I was
right
like,
now.
who told you
Like,
to
who
die?
told you to die?
Where are you coming
Where are
from?
you
She
coming
said,
from?
Agbopa. I
Agbopa.
said, for you
I
to
said,
come
for you
from
to come
Agbopa to
from
GRA
Agbopa to
actually
GRA
meant
actually meant
you are still healthy,
you
you
are
will not
still
die.
healthy, you will not die.
For you to go back
For
to
you to go back
Agbopa
to Agbopa,
sleep, you will not die.
you will not
The
die.
same.
The same.
So if you wanted to
So
die,
if
you
you
would
wanted
have
to
died
die,
of
you would have
it.
died of it.
That's the truth.
That's the truth.
But at that
But
point,
at
I
that
was
point, I
trying as much as
think
possible
as
to
much
use
as
my
possible to
professional
use my
judgment,
professional judgment,
judging from
judging
whatsoever
from
she
whatsoever
needed.
she needed.
Like she
Like
didn't need
she
that
didn't need
pentazocine.
that pentazocine.
What she needed was
okay,
She
therapy.
needed was therapy.
She was suffering
Was
from
suffering
severe
from severe
withdrawal syndrome.
withdrawal
So
syndrome.
at that point,
So
I
at that
think
point,
what
I
you need to
think
do,
what
you don't
you
dispense.
don't
Rather,
dispense.
if
Rather,
you need to
if
call
you
that
need to
patient,
call
seek
that
patient
patient, seek patient,
and seek
and
other ways
seek
you can
other
help.
ways you can help.
If the patient is
okay,
If the patient
exhibiting
is
allergy,
exhibiting allergy,
drugs that can bring
drugs
down
that can
allergy,
bring down allergy,
better off take
better
that
off
first.
do
And
that
when the
first.
patient is
And when the
calm
patient
enough,
is calm enough,
to, we counsel the
we counsel
patient.
the patient.
I don't think
okay.
giving
I don't think
that
giving that
professional
Oh, all right, all right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Hope. Thank you so much, my listeners, for staying tuned to now. We're talking about drug abuse. Listed, Dr. Hope has listed some kind of drug, some the types of drugs that are possible to be abused. The advice he gave so far has been ensure you stick with your doctor's prescription. If you're already hooked on any abusive drug, ensure you seek professional help to get out of it. Be honest as much as you can, and also if you think you can handle it yourself, you may want to reduce the dose over time until you are off the drug um, totally. So that is that for that. There are severe side effects for consuming large quantity of opioids or of different classification of drugs that have been abused. So the faster and the quicker you stop abusing these drugs, the better for you, your health, your relatives, and for your loved ones. Thank you very much, everyone, for staying tuned to the show. Yeah, if you are
Can I
here for the
drop
first
one?
time, okay, if you're here for the first time, you can kindly hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification so that you will be able to see our next video when we upload a video on Tuesday, Thursday, and Sundays. So, Dr. Hope, your last comments.
Posterity will not forgive me if I don't mention this last point.
Okay.
Now, we've been talking about copiers and all that. Even another very cheap class people are doing a lot. I think posterity will not forgive me if I don't mention this. We are trying to be very practical. There are a class of drug known as steroids and other class known as antibiotics. Now, something happened last week. The man was rushed into the emergency unit of the hospital where I work. And I noticed swelling and all that be at the side of his neck and all that. So while he was and all that, they said he went into and all that.
He went what?
I was making it sprint. He went into coma.
Okay.
So and he was rushed there. And they said he has always been complaining pain and all that. So I was already discussing with my because of the experience and that over time that this thing is mostly related to steroids. And lo and behold, when they brought flipped and what did I see? Prolonged use of steroids. Now, somebody will ask what are steroids? Steroids are those anti-inflammatory drugs that we use most time. Doctors add it as when you have pains. Example, popular one, prednisolone, dexamethasone. And they are very 15 naira you have gotten dexamethasone. Now there's a trend currently in the South where I work in a community pharmacy. Ladies always come. There's this particular girl that comes to she buys a pack of dexamethasone, 500 naira. Even at some points when that people increase it to 1,000 naira, she was still buying it. And one day I had reason. Sorry, this particular drug. What do you use it for, and why do you always buy? Opened up and told me that somebody that in fact her boyfriend said she's too skinny.
Okay,
so
for
she
good
wants to
skin.
add weight.
Okay,
And a
for
friend
want to add
recommended that to her that it's very good for weight gain.
Okay.
I was shocked. That was the first time I heard something like that. And then I went back and now saw that steroids, example, dexamethasone and prednisolone, prolonged usage usually causes accumulation of fluid and all that, which should be accumulated in the and other organs. And as such, people will be feeling like he or she is having weight. So that's when it has false weight of fluid being accumulated in the body. It's very dangerous. I'll leave it aside there. Stop it immediately. Over time, you have Cushing's syndrome and Addison syndrome, and this thing usually very at some points the whole of the organ might be down and deteriorated. Carry out vital functions. Antibiotics too. The abuse is on the increase. Currently, there's something as care professionals that are trying to fight is AMRO, antimicrobial resistance. And what is antimicrobial resistance? The situation whereby a particular person has a condition and goes to the pharmacy and says, give me amoxicillin, you take that one. Tomorrow something happens, you say, is that same amoxicillin, you buy amoxicillin. Next tomorrow, gets to a point, amoxicillin no longer works, switch to Cipro. After a period of you notice that almost all antibiotics. And that's why you see most lab reports. You see on the side, you see something like that at this point is resistant to almost all the antibiotics. And it starts from one point when person begins to abuse antibiotics and cares it. Now the last class about aphrodisiacs. There are drugs that people because they want to increase sex drive or libido. These things are readily available. Patent medicine stores of pharmacy. You see them being displayed. Normally, in the ideal be prescribed, but people take them for the reason. Recently, I just discovered a class of antidepressants, example known as anaphrine. Use it to increase self-regulation and drive.
Yeah.
So these drugs, another one is thing about these things is that when you prolong it, usually have example prolonged usage with like 100
like
the other
100
one.
the other one.
I have
I have
prostate
put
cancer, or you might even
or you
have
might even have
what's it
what's it
uh
uh
benign prostate hyperplasia,
type of place,
or even
or
erectile
even a right
dysfunction,
eye response,
whereby the person
whereby
might
the
stop
person might
taking
stop
half the time
time
and may not even
and
be
may
able
not
to
even be able to.
control. So these things, they are
So these
very
things, they
dangerous,
are very
threat to our
threat to our
health and the
health
society in
and
general.
society in general.
Most of the abuse,
Most
most
of the
of the
abuse,
social
most of the
practices
social practices,
they can be
they
traced
can be
down to
traced down
drug
to drug
abuse.
Abuse and
Please,
misuse.
is
it is an appeal
is an
to us all.
appeal to us all.
To my
To
viewers and
my
listeners,
peers and listeners,
please, please, and please,
please and
care
please,
about you.
care about you.
You are doing so
You are doing
much
so
in
much
the whole
in the
industry and the
industry
pharmaceutical
and the
side.
pharmaceutical.
See how we
See
can
how we can
serve you better,
serve you better,
help us to
help
help
us
you.
to help you.
Stop drug
Stop
abuse,
drug
and let's
abuse
make
and let's
society better.
society.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Hope. I appreciate your time and I appreciate your emphasis on the steroids, the aphrodisiacs, and the antibiotics. So, my listeners and viewers, thank you very much for staying with us. Remember the highlights of today. Remember what you are supposed to do when you want to stop an abuse. And remember that you have to stick to the doctor or the pharmacist's prescription after dispensing your drug. Thank you very much for staying tuned to the show today. We appreciate you. We appreciate our speaker, and we appreciate the viewers. See you in our next live stream on Sunday, 7 p.m. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Bye bye.